Hey, oh, cannon. Hold on. Oh my god, really? Come on, man. Hang on, friends. What is going on? Why is it like every single live stream this goddamn Canon software shits its pants? It was working a minute ago. It just gave. Oh, come on. Why? Why is this my life? Hang on. Oh, the camera. Oh, the camera's dead. Oh, that's not gone well. What? Come on. Don't do this to me. Not like this. Not like this. Come on, please. Are you kidding? Hold on. Oh my god. Don't live stream, guys. there's always something that, like, this is always happening. All right, camera has come back to life. What? Why is it? As soon as I plug the USB in, it just shit its pants. Oh, here comes. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Hey, look at that. Wow, that's actually the first time that the camera acted up. And why is the focus gone to hell? And it reconnected like that without needing me to... Never mind. Hi, friends. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Monday Night Q&A. We're doing a little giveaway tonight. Little tiny giveaway tonight. It's for a t-shirt. Extra large t-shirt. Frank Nicholas donated a ton of large and extra large t-shirts. And so every single Monday, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for one. We usually do the giveaways around 11 o'clock. So stick around if you wear extra large. And yeah, we're going to have a little tiny every Monday night giveaway. We do 4 big giveaways every first Monday of the month. That was last Monday, though. So, yeah, tonight, next Monday, the Monday after that, t-shirt giveaways. The first Monday of February, we will have a big 4 giveaway live stream, as we always do. Welcome to the show. We are going to be dissecting and imitating SR13, the GOAT! The Tiny Whoop Freestyle GOAT, as far as I'm concerned. His style. And we'll take a look at a couple of his videos with no audio, of course. And yeah, we'll talk about it. It's since he was flying a lot of Tiny Whoop stuff, the motor power has gone ballistic. Like when he stopped making Tiny Whoop edits, the best motors that we had were full can, not even the EX 0802s, the heavy 802s at 25,000 kV. And I remember him and I talking like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. We were running them on Gemfan quad blades at the time to try to get every little bit of power that we could out of them. They ran much better on the Gemfan tri blades, but they seemed to make a tiny little bit more power on the quad blades. And yeah, we were good friends. We talked all the time. I actually dropped his name to Jesse from Tiny Whoop. I was like, yo, you got to sponsor this guy, bro. And he did. And it was super cool. So yeah, great guy. He hasn't put a video up, as we'll see on his channel, in a while. He started to do commercial flying. And I don't know. I haven't talked to him in forever. I don't really use Facebook much anymore. So I don't know if he's just been busy doing commercial flying or if he took a break. He's in the cycle of FPV pilots that were making a ton of content 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and it feels like they kind of burned out. Lot I got. No, SR13 is not in the chat. Is he? SR, where you at? Sebastian, where you at? I'm looking through the chat. Well, hey, let me get caught up on chat real quick, and we'll see if he's here. Sebastian is the S in SR. Sebastian Ruth. In the chat, Danzilla the Terrible was first. Lucky was next. Frank Nicholas, Hockey Rounds, Riot9, Bob Bruce, Mac FPV, Damon, Riot9, Kevin the Alien, Danzilla the Terrible, Metal Dirtskin, CMYK FPV, Scott FPV, Brandon Woodford, Bryce Miller, who's 2 is. That's strange to read and then come out of my face holes. Not applicable. Walter Van, I'm just going to say Walter. Bryce Miller again. Douglas Otwell, not applicable again. PR Prevail. Northern Tier, OCD FPV, FamG, Hendrix Freakazoid, Riot9, Mick Mucus, Kevin Sumner, Oma FPV, Danzilla the Terrible, Brandon's Break Beans, RC Aviators, FamG again, Gen X is here, Chillin' FPV, got you guys, Prop Junkie, oh, come on, YouTube, how you gonna do the thing when I'm in the middle of reading the names? Hold on, I gotta scroll back up. I think this is where I was at. Prop Junkie, RC Aviators, Riot 9, Chillin' FPV, Quadum? Is it Quadum or Quadum? I think it's Quadum. Rain Squad FPV, Hockey Runs, J-Spin, RC Aviators again, again. Trying to work through the repeats. This is where I start to miss people, sorry. But I don't want to read every single one because it'll take forever. There's Walter again. Safe Zone again. JP Spin. OCD again. Brandon's Baked Beans. Are we good? Do I have everybody? Metal Nerdskin is here. Fam G again. Ghost Branch is in the house. Riot 9. SR13. There he is. Oh my god. Very cool. Brother. You are now a... Which one do I want to make you? Managing or standard moderator? I think standard moderator. I just want your name to show up in blue, SR. You don't have to moderate. Ghost Branch, I actually also want you to show up in blue. Again, you do not have to moderate. I just want you in blue. Big J541 FPV. What's the story behind that name, Big J? Tell us. And I think I got everybody. If I missed you, sorry, I'll get you next time. Thanks for coming. Yeah, SR13, as far as I'm concerned, is the most styly and just sort of the best freestyle tiny whoop pilot that I've really ever seen. And he has a very unique style. He was flying, like I said a minute ago, the most powerful setup that was around when he was doing a lot of edits and flying. Were the heavy 0802 25,000 kV motors, and we had rigs which were all up weights probably in like the 22 to 23 gram range. Nothing like what we've got today. So his style is very, this sounds mean, but just stick with me for a second. It's very two-dimensional. It's very forward, backward, left, and right. Now that we're well under 20 grams with motors upwards of 36,000 kV, we have sort of unlocked the third dimension, which is up and down. And I have gone ballistic with that. Like, most of what I focus on doing is using that third dimension, mainly because I think we haven't had it. Like, for so many years, tiny whooping was forward, backward, left, and right. And then yaw, of course. But and so the fact that we can do these off-throttle throws, like, I have just completely lost my mind, and it is just the greatest thing ever. And it's very fun, and yeah, I just absolutely love it. And it's kind of been like the thing missing from tiny whooping. And now that we have it, I'm just going nutso with it. Well, for whatever reason, YouTube recommended one of SR's videos, and I'm like, oh my god! And like, it's wild. You'll see in a minute. We'll jump on his channel. It's just nuts what he was doing 3 and 4 years ago. And it really made me want to have a little bit more focus on two-dimensional kind of flying, forward, backward, left, and right stuff, rather than just constantly throwing this thing through the air, up through the gates, hanging from the ceiling, and Matty flips and power loops and all that stuff. So yeah, I thought it would be really cool to watch a couple of his videos, really just kind of dissect like what he's doing, certain movements. It's a pretty unique style. It's a really flowy, really cool style. There are a lot of like rewind kind of movements, which are not my favorite. I think like back then, rewind stuff was like mind-blowing. And it got really popular. And so nowadays, I think it's kind of overdone. Like, when it's done perfectly, it's still really cool, but most people don't do it perfectly, and then that just kind of makes it a little stale in a weird way, because like so many people do it. So I'm not going to dive super deep into that, but there's a bunch of like really cool So one of the things that I really do want to try to steal from him tonight is that he loses. Like, I talk about this all the time. I know, sorry to beat a dead horse, but I fly in this way where I keep the horizon as level as I possibly can. I coordinate my sticks a lot. It's more of like a cinematic style, and that's just what I prefer. I prefer for the horizon to be relatively flat. Not to say that I don't do flips and rolls and stuff, but at the beginning and end of them, I want the horizon to be absolutely dead flat. And so, yeah, he loses the horizon way more than I do. And when you do that, when I say loses the horizon, I just mean breaks the leaving the horizon horizontal, and puts roll in. And what I noticed, the thing that put me down this rabbit hole was that I noticed that when, like, by losing the horizon, he's able to do a lot of lateral movement that opens up some really cool stuff, like coming into a room and then throwing the horizon like this and using the momentum that you get from that sideways push when you've taken the horizon and done this to it to force yourself back out of the room. And you can do it with yaw and like exit the room backwards and then keep kind of turning around and fly straight out of it. One of the Matty flips are a move that it's very difficult to get out of, because getting out of a Matty flip, you're going backwards through whatever the gap or under the object that you went. And it's like, well, now what? You know, do I just yaw around and keep flying? Usually. There are some other things you can do. One of my favorites is that you've already got this, you've already got sort of your thrust vector going forward. This is a bad rig to show you it on. You've already got your thrust pushing forward. One of my favorites is to go under the object, hammer the throttle to generate a bunch of upward momentum, and then you snap down like this. And all of a sudden you're inverted going in this opposite direction. So you kind of come around, and then you see the object that you Matty flip through, and then when you hammer the throttle, all of a sudden it's usually all sky. And then when you snap down, it's like this really dramatic moment of like, I was just looking at the sky, but now I'm upside down. You were going backwards looking up at the sky. Now all of a sudden you're upside down going forwards. And then you can just kind of roll out of it, or yeah, but so that backwards momentum is always kind of hard to figure out how to get out of it in a purposeful way, right? You can just yaw around and it's fine, but like it doesn't necessarily look like a mistake, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, it can very easily not be a purposeful thing. And forever ago, I think it was Drew actually that said in a edit that he did with like 5 tips for freestyle, it was either him, it might have been, I'm not sure who it was, but they said to make all of your movements, make everything that you do purposeful, right? So just like flying in a straight line and just doing a snap roll, that doesn't really accomplish anything. I guess you could argue that what it accomplishes is breaking up the fact that you're just flying forward, right? But like, that's a little bit of a stretch. So yeah, do everything that you do should be sort of purposeful, and I'll never forget that really like resonated with me so much. And so yeah, I am super excited for this tonight. This is a really cool idea that I had. This is I can't sleep at 2 a.m. idea, and I'm just sitting in bed doom scrolling every possible scenario that's awful, but then every once in a while a great thought comes into my head. This is one of those. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. Let me properly get caught up on chat here. Although if you want to talk to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. If you do that, it'll light up an orange. You got to spell it right. You can't put a space in between my last name and FPV. You can also put an @ but you don't have to. And this is my full-time job. If you like these live streams and want to see them continue, I'm completely crowdfunded so that everything I review is completely unbiased. Nobody really sends me anything. If they do send me something, I let them know, like, hey, if this sucks, I'm going to hammer it. If that's a deal breaker, don't send it, please. Unbelievably, there are still companies that send me stuff. And there are companies that are willing to put their money where their mouth is. A bunch of their logos are on my opening screen there. So yeah, CiottiFPV.com has a bunch of ways that you can support me. Patreon is the best, and being a patron will get you in on these Monday. I guess I shouldn't use patrons for the extra large t-shirt giveaways because not every patron is going to be able to wear an extra large. So I guess the extra large t-shirt giveaways every Monday night are going to be Super Chat and PayPal based. That's, yeah, I guess that's what I have to do. Hell, there might only be one person that enters the giveaway. I'm fine with that. The $5 ticket that they're going to buy is going to cover the shipping. So it's all good. I don't expect these t-shirt giveaways to have a huge audience, but whatever. Yeah, it was super cool for Frank to send these t-shirts and a ton of other stuff. Like the first Monday of every month giveaways are going to be nuts for like the next at least 6 months, probably like this whole year, in big part to thanks to Frank Nicholas. So yeah, massive shout out, super generous. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. So yeah, joining my Patreon gets you the most stuff. You can join for as little as $3 a month. That works out at 7.5 cents per hour of live streams that I do on a monthly basis. You can't tell me it's not this big dumb thing isn't worth 7.5 of your cents an hour. Oh god, it just gets sillier and sillier and sillier. So yeah, do it. There are also tiers $5 and up, basically, that'll get you in on either 1 or 3 of the big giveaways that we do every first Monday of each month. There's also an Etsy store with some really cool stuff. There's a Fiverr page where you can work one-on-one with me. I'm at about 8 years in FPV, paying a lot of attention, testing a lot of stuff. So I've got a ton of knowledge. I try to dump all that knowledge here in the live streams, but it's kind of hard to sort through all of it since there's probably at this point thousands of hours of these. So yeah, if you want to work one-on-one with me and just hammer me with like a half an hour or an hour's worth of questions, you can, if you've been into FPV for 6 months, by the end of the hour, you're gonna have enough, like as much knowledge as somebody that's been into the game for 2 years. And it's good info. It's not Facebook group info. If you're new around here, we constantly joke about how bad the info is on Facebook groups. Be really careful. Most of the answers that you get on Facebook groups are completely wrong because the people on there have been flying for 10 minutes. So yeah, I get it. Everybody wants to help, but like, unless you've tested a bunch of stuff, don't tell someone what the best of X, Y, or Z is. I mean, for the most part, if somebody tells you that something is the best, they don't know what they're talking about, because there is no best. There's just different. And yeah, there's best for you, but they don't know you, so they're not going to know that right off the rip. There's also a Teespring store where you can get some fun shirts. Shirt of the day is from BQE. What else? There's a whole bunch of affiliate links there too. At this point, if you're doing an order on the internet, someone has an affiliate link. Please help us and just click our affiliate links real quick before you check out. It's free money. It doesn't affect you in any way. And yeah, some of us live or die by them. So yeah, try to use affiliate links whenever you order shit on the internet. And there's some other funny stuff down the bottom of CiottiFPV.com. In the chat, Bob Bruce tagged me and said, "What's going on, everyone?" in CiottiFPV. CMYK says, "Yo, yo, gangly gang," in CiottiFPV. Riot9 says, "I still remember when you were cool and flew 5-inch. Love you, LOL. Look, that was flight footage from only like 6 months ago. I think Rampage. I think Rampage was the last time I flew a 5-inch rig. I hope not. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. When I got home from Rampage, I had some batteries that were still charged, and I flew. It was like 2 days after Rampage. Tiny whoops being as good as they are now have ruined me. I just don't want to do, like, I just want to fly tiny whoops. Like, it's just, I can do it here while I'm hanging out with you awesome people. And then, like, afterwards, and then, like, tomorrow at random. It's just, they're too good. I wish they were not as good, because then I would have a reason to go outside and fly again. Although, right now, it is just stupidly cold. And for the next like 2 months, it's just going to be dumb cold in here, here in Georgia. And this is the point where everybody up north goes, you asshole, it's not that cold there. Look, I didn't move south. I moved south partly to get the hell away from the cold. I hate the cold with the burning passion of 1,000 suns. And so, yeah, anything below 40 degrees can just go to hell forever. So, and it's that cold. So, Rain Squad FPV says, you broke it. Safe Zone says, what's good, my FPV peas and CiottiFPV? Hope everyone is doing well. FPV peas? Oh, peeps. He lost the second P. I was like, wait, you're calling, are we peeing? Fam G's in the house. He says, extra large here. We are all big guys. Frank is in the chat. Frank, are there any XXLs in there? I don't think so. I think they're all XL and large. But each shirt that we do a little giveaway for, I'll show you the shirt and look at what the size is. Although I noticed, excuse me, tonight's shirt does not have a tag on it. So I'm going to assume that it's XL. Riot9 says, he just joined Discord, should be in chat. Very, very cool. 661. Hey, so yeah, Sebastian Ruth is here. What have you been up to, brother? I know that you started to get some commercial work. Has that taken off? Or did you go back to a real job? I say that as someone, you know. But yeah, what have you been up to, man? You're, as we're all about to see, there hasn't been, there's been like a 8-month gap in his YouTube channel. What do we have to do to browbeat you into putting more awesome footage up on YouTube? 661 says, oh Christ, where did everything go in chat here? 661 says, you remember Jbee Fpv, right? I do indeed. Jbee is the other one, is the other name that I dropped to Jesse and said, yo, you got to sponsor this guy, and he did. He was one of the first Whoop pilots, great, that got me into FPV 6 years ago with brushed whoops. Very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, it's kind of nuts how that works. It's kind of nuts how, like, really good flight edits... I feel like really good flight edits are what get people into FPV, which is... I guess it makes sense. Yeah. 661 FPV also says, and there's another Whoop pilot named Gel, and can't remember his YouTube. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Oh my God, who was that? Or wait, was that JB's first name? Jbee Fpv's first? It might have been. Kevin Sumner dropping the CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, dude. Tyler Walker says, have you seen Infinity Loop's channel? He's a good freestyle tiny whoop pilot. He is indeed. Demo FPV says, what's up, everyone? Riot9 says, correction, the best is what I have linked in the description. Facebook is for suckers. Kevin Sumner says, are you going to Rampage this year? As long as, yeah, like, I have never really been able to afford Rampage, just to be totally honest. But they have either paid me to come to run Micro Mayhem, or just given me, I think last year they just gave me the campsite and the entry pass. And yeah, so if they do that again this year, I will absolutely go. I love Rampage. It's only like, I think it's like 4 hours from here, drive. So there's kind of no reason for me to go other than financial reasons. But yeah, if they take care of the financial reason, then I don't really have a reason to not go, and I will absolutely go. It's a blast. I love it every year. Kevin the Alien says, holy crap, I didn't know you lived in around Atlanta. I'm in Noonan. Very cool, dude. Yeah, I'm in Lawrenceville, actually. I spend a good amount of time in Atlanta, though, working gigs. That's pretty much where all my gigs end up being. Other than when they fly me around the... Wow, I can kind of say fly me around the world now, because I've been flown to Los Cabos to do work. I'll be damned. Huh. I was about to say fly me around the country, but then I was like, wait, Los Cabos, bro. Frank Nicholas says, they are all large or extra large only. Awesome. Adam Weston says, just listen back to Sunday stream. Do you always charge 300 mAh folded cells at 900 milliamps on the Whoopster. I do not, no. I usually leave the Whoopster at 0.5 amp, which is the regular setting. But sometimes if I forget, like I did tonight, if I forget to charge the batteries at the beginning of the stream, I will crank it all the way up to 0.9 of an amp. At 0.9 of an amp, a 300 mAh battery is going at is running at 3C, which is still, from what I understand from people much smarter than me, when it comes to electricity, is kind of fine. We discharge these batteries at way, way, way more than 3C. So yeah, we do way more damage on the discharging side of things than charging them up at 3C or even... there are, I've heard of racing pilots that have charged religiously at like 9C, which is just ridiculous. More commonly, I'll hear 6C, but yeah, I've heard upwards of 9C. And I mean, with racers, it's a little bit different, I think, though, because they just annihilate batteries, and they replace batteries a lot more frequently. But the thing to remember is that we discharge at massive C ratings. You know, like if you just look at the amount of the easiest thing is just to look at the amount of time, right? We run one of these 300 mAh cells down in 3 minutes. Well, even at 0.9 of an amp, they're not charging in 3 minutes. They're charging in, I don't know. Well, let's see. I actually have no idea how quickly it'll charge at 0.9 of an amp, but we have the technology. Stopwatch, go. Somebody remind. I'm gonna leave it face up so I can see it. So yeah, keep that in mind. All that being said, charging at really high amp numbers can get dangerous. Most of the chargers are really smart and they will not light batteries on fire. But if you have a battery that's hurt, especially if you're charging on a balance board and there's one battery that's hurt and the rest are not, if you start cranking the amps way the hell up, it can get a little fiery. So unless you absolutely need to charge down at like 1C, and yeah, that's going to be your best bet, or 2C. 2C is like super, super safe. But the slower you can charge it, the longer the battery is going to last. So yeah, take a look at how much time you have and make them... I would not go lower than 1C, though. Like, it's pointless to go lower than 1C. Another really good rule of thumb is that heat is what kills these things. So if you're charging at an amp rating and the batteries are getting hot, that's too much. You do not want the batteries to get hot when you're charging them. They almost always get hot when you're discharging them because we ask a ton of them when we're discharging. But yeah, heat is what kills batteries. Well, I guess you could just say heat is what kills electronics. So yeah, as long as they're not getting hot, you're going to be pretty safe. Frank Nicholas says, I removed some tags that bug me when wearing. I do the same thing. Compare sizes with shirts that still have tags. Good call. Good call. Right9 says, he will ready anything. F.U. San Diego. Oh, he will read anything. F.U. San Diego. SR13 says he's full-time. Nice, dude. I love that. I love that. Very cool. Congrats, man. That's huge. Kevin the Alien says, I have a new pack of tattoo batteries, and on the back it says never to charge above 2C, but that's liability insurance, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, sure, it is for liability, but that's a really good thing to put. I would never blame a battery manufacturer for putting that on a battery. Max of 2C is... To be honest, that's what I should be saying. That's what I should be telling folks, because it's very safe to do that. And to say like, no, it's fine to go up to 9C is kind of reckless, because if somebody like just in passing hears me just say that without all the other stuff that I was just talking about, they could just, oh, Ciotti said it was cool, here we go, and their house burns down. So yeah, technically speaking, I should be saying like, for the love of God, don't go over 2C. You'll burn your house down and it'll kill everything in sight. But you guys know how I roll. I try to give you the... I try my best to take advantage of long form content and give you full answers rather than just quick little sound bites. So yeah. 661 says Kebab says he charges at 11C. Next time I talk to him, I'm gonna give him shit about that. That's a bit much. It's probably fine though. Again, because we do not discharge these things, we discharge these things at way higher than 11C. So it's probably fine to do that, but that's still kind of scary. A good thing to mess with him about. I bought shoes today. I bought running shoes today. Look at these. Yo, why are like athletic shoes so goddamn ugly now? What happened? Why are they all like mesh? It's just like a mesh booty with like no style and like fluorescent shitbird colors. What is happening with athletic shoes? Like I had to go old school with these New Balances. Like why don't they look like this? This looks like a person shoe. What is the deal? Good lord. Awful. Fucking uggo-ass shoes. Ooh! JScars1120 grew up in Beaufort. Small world. Very cool. Where you live at now? 661 says those are dad shoes. Up yours. They are not dad shoes. Fuck you. Alright. What are we doing? I'm amazingly I'm caught up on chat. What is happening? Hey, also this is a Q&A live stream as they all are. Fill the chat up with any questions that you've got. If you want me to answer the questions rather than chat to just talk about them, make sure you tag me. And to tag me, you just type CiottiFPV. You can put an @ in front of it, but hey. FamG says it's cheaper to make ugly shoes these days. Oh, thank you for mentioning cheaper. All the ugly shoes are like $100+. What the hell? Who has $150 to spend on athletic shoes that you're gonna smash into the pavement and destroy in like, I don't know. Mine will last for the next 10 years because I'll go running twice and that'll be that. But Jesus, what is the deal with shoes nowadays? Hey, look, I got all these stickers for sale. Buy them or I'll starve to death and die. I've got sticker packs for $10. You can get 3 stickers. This is a window cling. You can put it on the inside or the outside of a window. Little gangly gang holographic action, and my logo in holographic as well. And then there's this sticker sheet that CMYK has designed most of this stuff. Sticker sheet with 5 stickers for only $10. What a deal! And then there's a whole bunch of individual stickers. Some of these are on Etsy. Some of them are not. If you want to get some stickers, just message me somewhere. CiottiFPV.com has a bunch of different ways you can contact me. Holographic small old school logo, matte small old school logo, gangly gang in matte. I'm doing this the wrong way. Flip them upside down, dummy. Micro King matte, Micro King round. I don't think there are any of these anymore. This is an OG sticker. If you have one of these stickers, you're special. These will never be available again. Misprint CiottiFPV holographic. I don't think I have any more of them. Matte CiottiFPV. I definitely have those. I definitely have the rest of these. There's the holographic one again. Clam Man. There's not many of these left. Snag your Never Give Up Clam Man sticker before they're gone. The CiottiFPV with the apple, the old school apple rainbow going on, holographic. This is a nut grabber sticker. That's an old fun joke. There's this really, really, really useful tool. It's actually like a jeweler's, I don't know, it picks up jewels. But good lord, is this nice to have in your toolbox. All of those little M2 nuts that are impossible to like fucking, you pick these right up with them, turn them right on. This is amazing to have, and for some reason I started calling it a nut grabber. Oh, because I was grabbing nuts with it. All car fans will probably recognize this one. A la Hoonigan, Kill All Tires. Not anymore. Not for us. Kill All Carbon, baby. Full-size old school logo in matte. Magnet with the old school logo. Full-size old school logo in holographic. Cool, kind of like 90s style and holographic jam. Ultra cool. Words eluded him. Holographic gangly gang. Jesus. Little Tron action there. And then I showed you the rest of these. Matte gangly gang. And there's a holographic gangly gang too. Message me if you want some stickers to put all over your stuff and show some love. And yeah, you'll be supporting the madness that is trying to do FPV full time. It's crazy. SR13 will tell you it's ridiculous. It's hard, man. It's hard to do. FamG says got to shop at Payless Shoes. These were $40 for the record. I refuse to pay more than $50. That's just silly. CMYK dropping the .com link. Thank you, dude. And all right, we're caught up. Let's dive in. Wait, no, hold on. I stole that from Mighty Car Mods. If you like good YouTube channels, go subscribe. They're the best car channel on YouTube. I got this for Patrick to put on the back of his Tesla. He read Musk's book and was like, dude, this guy's a monster. He said it's interesting. He said like he'll do something like really good for the world, and then he'll do like a bunch of like just really awful, just dumb, ridiculous, terrible monster things. So yeah, that's a shame. My dad got me an Apple Thunderbolt 4 cable, which is absurd. But I think I really do need it. So yeah, shout out to my dad. He's the goddamn best. And then a little bit of a restock here from Douglas Otwell, the man behind the Gangly Fan. So yeah, this is a re-up on Gangly Fans, which are given away every first in the big giveaways every first of the month. Barrel plug here. You can use your goggle batteries to hook up, and you've got a wireless fan. 3S works the best. It'll technically run on 2S, but yeah, very, very, very cool. Super important for ELRS tiny whoops, and especially walk snail tiny whoops. With the walk snail light, it will start overheating in 30 seconds. I'm not even kidding. 30 seconds and it'll start overheating, which, yeah, that's just pretty much instantaneous. Oh my god, brother. He sent a bunch. Holy cow. Douglas Otwell, thank you so much, dude. I'm not going to unwrap all of these, just that one. Very, very cool. Man, this will keep us going. So I do one of these Gangly Fans every first Monday of the month. So this will keep us going until like April, which is amazing. Thank you, dude. Very cool. Very, very cool. I got to put this shirt up here so I don't forget about it. Oh, yeah, Quadum. Very true. Also good for soldering. Put it up on its side and use it to clear the solder fumes. As my dad, who has been an electrical technician, well, he's retired now, but was an electrical technician for, Jesus, 40 years, as he would be quick to remind me, the amount of soldering that we do, we really don't have to worry about it. Like, if you're soldering for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, yeah, for sure, get the fumes the hell away from you. But for us, like, we're inhaling solder fumes for, like, a sum total of 30 seconds a couple times a month, you know what I mean? Because like we solder and then that's it, right? Like, and then we do another one and that's it. We're not constantly doing it, so we're not getting mega exposure to it. But if you are doing it a bunch, if you're building 50 rigs a day, then yeah, for sure. But you already know that if you're doing that much soldering. FPV Greybush says, how can I get one? Join my Patreon. And, well, no, I guess you don't technically have to join my Patreon. I would still love you to, and you get a lot of benefits. I forgot to mention, when you join my Patreon, you're going to get a link to a YouTube playlist with 80-some unreleased edits, Patreon-only live streams that we've done, sketchy flying that I don't want to be public, all kinds of cool stuff there. There are 2 different Facebook groups that you're going to get access to, full access to my Discord. You can do things with the full access to my Discord, like rent out a box of every single stick end that's in stock on the internet, so you can actually try them rather than just looking at a picture and hoping that you're going to like it and blowing $30 on them. And there's a bunch of technical articles on the Patreon itself that I've written and other people have done that, yeah, have a bunch of value. So for as little as, what is it, like 10 cents a day? It's 10 cents a day. You can jump onto the Patreon. But to get a Gangly Fan, you got to show up to the first Monday live stream of every month, and you got to get in on the 4th giveaway that we do. The 4th giveaway we do is Super Chat and PayPal based. It's $5 per ticket, and you get, and it's a randomized thing, and somebody wins, and that's it. We're keeping the, what is it? What's like the strategy in business where you keep the, you don't make enough of something to drive up the prices. That's what we're doing. Although it's just, you know, $5 a ticket. Kevin Sumner says, I use a fume extractor because my kids' play area is directly next to my workbench. They're much more susceptible to solder fumes. That's a really good idea. Love that. All right, cool. Let's dive in to 1047. Yeah, we'll do the shirt giveaway in a couple of... Nah, let's do the shirt giveaway now because I'm going to... Market scarcity, that's it. Thank you, OCD. Droneflix as well. All right, so here's how it works. Super chat me or PayPal me. There's a link over on CiottiFPV.com. $5 for a ticket to win this shirt. You've got 2 minutes. Hurry up. I don't want this to drag on long. Here's the shirt. It is an extra large. I can tell by just looking at it. $5 gets you a ticket, and you can win this shirt. I'll ship it right out to you. Ready, go. 2 minutes. 10:47 right now. At 10:50, that this giveaway ends. Get your OG FPV crate shirt right here, right now. It'll look like you've been into FPV for longer than you have, maybe. FPV crate was the best and the longest lasting monthly subscription crate in FPV. And they were actually huge supporters of this operation that I got going here. That's a weird thing to call it. Operation. But yeah, they I guess you could say they sponsored me. They sent me the box every month, and then I would do an unboxing with it, and it was great. And they were a great group of guys. But yeah, when FPV kind of fell on its face after the big boom, they unfortunately couldn't survive. This, not just when FPV fell on its face, that's not really fair. Also, when the chip shortage began, it just destroyed them. It destroyed their ability to order good stuff and then put it into the boxes and make any kind of a profit. That was around the time that the prices on all of our electrical components pretty much doubled, so go figure. But yeah, it was very sad to see them go because they really did some cool stuff. My favorite thing that they did is that they would walk you through a build every month. So they would like pre-plan a build, and then so 1 month you would get a frame, and then the next month you'd get an ESC that works in that frame. I mean, most of the stuff is universal, but stick with me here. And then the next month you'd get a flight controller that works well with that ESC. The next month you get a VTX that fits in that frame. And so you could do like an entire, over the course of, it was usually like between 6 and 8 months, you could do like an entire FPV crate build. And it was just kind of cool to do that. Like, I think most people would just take the individual electronics and put them into their existing builds. But at one point on this channel, actually, I did a 5-inch build with all the FPV crate parts. It was really cool. And then the funniest thing ever happened. This is such a perfect full circle moment. I then did a giveaway for that build, and Frank Nicholas won it. And it doesn't look like he ever flew it, because in the boxes of stuff that he sent me, it was in there. And I'm looking at it earlier today, and I'm like, this is so familiar. And I'm like looking at the bottom, and I'm like, wow, Frank used heat transfer tape on the VTX. Damn, he really does pay attention to the live streams. And I texted him, and I was like, hey man, is this a full FPV crate build that you did from all the FPV crates that you got? And he's like, this is yours. I won that from you. And I was like, oh, right, I did that. That's a great idea. So yeah, that was a really funny sort of full circle moment. So yeah, what goes around comes around, friends. All right, it's 10:51. I gave you 1 extra minute. let's get this giveaway knocked out real quick. Somebody's going to get a shirt, and yeah, nothing wrong with that. Looks like we're all super chat. I don't see any PayPals. If you PayPal, oh god, I almost threw up. If you PayPal'd me, type CiottiFPV. I PayPal'd you right now because I'm about to just do this with the super chat since I don't see anything in my email from PayPal. Here we go. We've got AJ Farrow with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. You are getting a ticket. By the way, you can one ticket per person. One ticket per. Well, no, we'll do it like we always do. You're technically allowed to get multiple. You can, if you really want the shirt, you can buy 10 tickets for $50. I would not recommend you do that, but you do you. And it still won't guarantee that you win. But hey, you can be the David in the world of Goliaths. Nope, you can be the Goliath in the world of Davids if you choose. RB Ariels, thank you for the super chat. Danzil the Terrible, thank you for the generosity. OCD FPV, thank you, my man. Come on, get in there. There it is. And FamG FPV says, put me in for a shirt. You got it, my friend. Thank you, dude. And there we go. I'm glad FamG is working a different shift and he can come hang out with us. He ditched us for work. What a dick. That's called having your priorities straight. Thank God for for people like him. Douglas Outwell with a $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. And we're rounding it out with Adam Weston. CMYK put a question in the Discord livestream live FML. What's QQ stand for? I've seen QQ for quick question. Quick question. That's what it stands for, isn't it? Quick question. Let's knock this out first here. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Douglas. Thank you, FamG. Thank you, OCD. Thank you, Denzel the Terrible. Thank you, RB. Thank you, AJ. Here we go. Submit. There are the tickets. Goat at the ready. Somebody's gonna win a shirt. That person's name will be screamed by the goat next. Ready? I thought I timed that all wrong. OCD's hanging in there. Denzel on top right. AJ Farrow on the right. Somebody got blown away. Okay, there it is. OCD FPV. Congratulations, my man. You have won an FPV crate shirt. Let me take a quick look at... Nope, that's not what I want. And... Come on. Internet, come on. You're so fast, Internet. Why you be so slow sometimes? OCD, is your last name Jonas? Is this you? Yeah, it is. I got you. OCD, I got your address. You're good to go, man. You don't have to send me anything. But I do need to... I can't really write on the shirt. I shouldn't. I do need to put something on here. Oh man. Well... Hold on. Will it fit in one of those bags, I wonder? Probably not. What do I do? I live in a world of no pens and papers. Is there really not a single, like, post-it note or anything that I can write OCD FPV on and stick it to this shirt? Is this real life? What is happening right now? What? Oh, I know. I'm going to send you one of CMYK's, what's this called? Coasters. And I'm going to write your name on the back. If you guys need graphic design and you go to anyone other than CMYK FPV, I'm going to mess you up. Like, for real. I'm going to hunt you down and beat you to death. So, don't. I don't want to have to pay that airfare. That sucks. If you're gonna, make sure you're within driving distance of me. Do me that favor. Kevin Sumner says QQ is also a crying eyes emote used in World of Warcraft, so context matters for it. No shit. 661 says, speaking of FPV Crate, if you're wondering where they stole their logo from, Google Sound Cubes. That's funny. They just took an existing logo and changed the letters, I'm sure. All right, hold on real quick. Let's take a look at Livestream Live over on Discord. Where the hell's Discord at? There it is. CiottiFPV, and then we've got Livestream Live is one of the Patreon channels, by the way. Channels for patrons, I should say. Here it is. So, is bridging the ground to the outside of the USB on the Hummingbird board going to smoke it? I think my TS100 started to die. Now I've overworked the shit out of this. It's something to wick away the solder. You know, I had the exact same question, and I just said to hell with it and plugged the battery in, and it didn't blow up. The same thing happened to me. Their USB port is right on top of the ground pad, and yeah, the exact same thing happened to me. Although it looks like you broke that bridge, so good job on that. But yeah, no, I left mine bridged to the outside, which kind of makes sense. It makes sense that the USB plugs would have the outside of the plug grounded. So yeah, you're good. You can leave it bridged, although it looks like you already fixed it. So, but yeah, when you reattach that ground, if it jumps back over to the to that plug, you can leave it. Mine, I can literally show you mine. It's exactly the same. I won't be able to get the camera in there, but let me just double check. Oh yeah, mine is very bridged to the USB. It's been completely. Oh, that's kind of ugly. I can't believe I left that like that. There's like a big blob of solder going onto the USB. Shit. So yeah, you're good. That's a good question, actually. Okay, so CMYK says sick, popping this Betty back into the frame, rocking it dirty. Very bridged for the win. All right, so let's get this out of here and let's pull up SR13 FPV's YouTube page. Go ahead and just subscribe to this because you're gonna love it. If you're not familiar with them, be ready to have your tits blown off. Just a great pilot with a really cool style. And so yeah, we're gonna go from newest to oldest with Tiny Whoop stuff. Oh, look at that! Wow. Okay, we did get up to 27,000 kV 3 years ago. But you know what was interesting? I remember these 27,000 kV 0802s for some reason. They did not make more power than the 25,000 kVs. It was really weird, and it was really kind of disappointing. Especially with what we've got now. Like, Christ, we're up to 36,000 kV. But yeah, it was really weird, man. I remember this. I remember these 27,000s. We were all so excited, and like initially we were all like, yeah, they make more power. And then as we started to fly them more, and we flew them back to back with the 25,000s, we were like, wait. this is not what we thought it was. Great example of placebo kicking our asses though. So let's grab a couple of these, and I'm just gonna open them up. Tiny Whoop. All right, great. That's 5-inch, 5-inch, and then we got unreleased. All right, cool. That should be enough. So first thing I want to kind of do is just sort of dissect what's going on, and yeah, hoop and holler, and ooh, that was cool. Ooh, this was cool. So let's. Oh god, no. Okay, I need to mute all of these. Hold on a second. No. Okay, should be good. I should have caught that in time. Okay, so first thing, very low camera angle. Look how much duct is in view. I think this is a fairly wide field of view camera. But still very low camera angle, which I really like, especially when you're going to do a bunch of backwards flying. It really helps to have the super low camera angle. So yeah, that's definitely something different than what we've got lately. Not lately, but just whatever, words. Pretend I said something that made sense there. So all right, yeah, okay. So we're already deep into it. This right here, this is a perfect example of SR13 style. That is just so cool. It's just so cool. Watch this little sequence here, right? So using a little bit of elevation, but really using yaw, roll, pitch. So we're climbing up, and so we're doing kind of like a sideways wall climb-ish, right? Yawing down and over, and then letting that yaw rotate all the way back, and then completely reversing it and coming back up. Not a total rewind, but like pulling the yaw back, and then this is something that I think we all stole from Schizo right here. Actually, bang, that little like quick pitch forward to get the nose down. You blast the throttle, and then you pick the nose right back up. That's something that a bunch of us have been doing for a long time, so I don't need to steal that. I've already kind of stolen it from somebody else. But yeah, if you wanted an example of SR13's style, like right there, that's great. So that little, all right, so this little yaw wiggle, hold on, nope, I didn't go far enough back. This little yaw wiggle is not going to be something that I'm going to steal. This is, again, something that we all kind of used to do. I remember there was a Rotor Riot video at one point that was another one of these, like, 10 tips for better freestyle. And one of the tips was, hey, instead of flying straight, why don't you put a little, like why don't you just walk it and just, like, walk it around? And, like, everybody started doing it, and it got so old so fast. This is not that. This is rocking back and forth with yaw, which is definitely cooler, but yeah, it's sort of like a la that old school kind of thing. It's funny, like, I don't know if it's just because I've been into it or just because I'm a prissy bitch, but there's a lot of like older FPV things that to me are like very dated and very stale, and I'm like, ugh, no, I'm glad that trend died. But yeah, that little back and forth, that's something you'll never catch me doing on purpose, at least. That right there, ooh, God. So SR's got this. What is that? Is it like a fucking ice cream maker? This thing here. Is that I don't know what that is, but it's always in the same spot on his counter, and he does these really accurate little rips behind it, and it's just so cool. Like, this right here, this is what separates, like, good pilots from great pilots. Oh, fuck. Sorry. All right, here's the thing. Ready? Right up here on the counter. This, I don't know what this thing is. I don't know what this thing is, but it's always in the same spot. It's probably coffee related. And he does these these really technical little rips behind it all the time, and it's just, I don't know. I just always think it's the coolest shit ever. There's a little bit of elevation there you can really see. This is probably full throttle. Ready? Look how, like, it's just compared to what we've got now. Like, yeah, we just didn't have any power back then. There's like, here is a just classic rewind move. We know about those. There's some subtleties to SR's style that I want to go with right there. This is a movement where this is what I was talking about earlier. This is a move. So we've got the horizon dead level, and then he's going to lose the horizon, roll to the left, and use that to get this momentum to rip down around this thing. And like, this is something that I really do want to steal and start using. Like, look how cool that is. It's subtle. It doesn't like scream like, hey, it's just such a cool little thing that I want to kind of play around with a little. That's really what I'm going to be focusing on, if I'm completely honest. Although those little, he uses these little, it's kind of like half of a, what would that be, like half a juicy flick? Yeah, pitch then roll. Just pitch, like a pitch look back and then a roll to get out of it. I won't be able to do it as sharp because my rates aren't high enough to do it like this, but I realized in watching one of these videos that he's doing these instead of just doing that, right? Like a lot of us will throw I'm not going to say us because I don't. A lot of pilots will throw that maneuver or other like quick snap maneuvers in just for the sake of doing something, and that drives me nuts. Like again, I think everything should be purposeful. I know why they're doing it. They've established like a pacing, and it's hard to break from your pacing, right? A lot of guys' pacing is like just go 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 crazy 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 for 3 minutes, and it's really hard to have that quicker pacing and then bring it down and just cruise or just not have so much energy, because it almost seems like a mistake, right? Like if you've established that like you're gonna hit somebody with a shitload of movement every half a second, and then all of a sudden you don't, it really feels like you just kind of gave up, right? Like you got to kind of ramp in and out of that, and I feel like FPV Freestyle has figured that out over the last couple of years. I feel like that's been something that we didn't really figure out in early days, that we've kind of gotten a hold of now, and so yeah, those really snap moves are in most cases they're just filler. It's just something to throw in to keep the energy up when you move from one subject to the next. Personally, I would rather you slow your pacing down when you're towards the end of your interaction with one subject, and then maybe like the simplest thing ever. It blows my mind how many people don't realize this, but if you just dump super low to the ground and just get like a super locked in low cruise from one object to the next, it's really cool. It gives the viewer like a second to kind of breathe. It shows a technical ability to fly really low, because throttle control is like the pinnacle of what you're trying to get to as a really good pilot. And it's just nuts, because like you can't do that really with any other camera platform, right? But what I realized like yesterday, checking out a bunch of SR13 stuff, is that he's doing this, I think at least, he's doing this pitch down roll to interact with an object that he's looking ahead to find. I talk as much as I can about how important it is to look ahead of where you're at, not where you're at now. That's something that I used to teach in motorsport days. You don't want to be looking at the cone in autocross that you're on top of. You want to be looking at like the next set of gates, because your peripheral vision is going to be able to see the cone to make sure you don't hit it. At big open at circuits, it's even more important. You want to be looking like way down the road. A lot of the times you're looking out of the side window in some cases, and I think that's what he was doing these for, which is really, really cool. This one, I've noticed he does it a bunch with the couch. He does it to interact with the couch, right? So on this one, it kind of pulled him to the side, and that might be why he cut there. But you can see like he's headed right at the couch, and I've seen him do it a bunch of times where he throws that move. So he's headed right at the couch. He throws that move, and then backwards skims the top of the couch. So like as the viewer, maybe you were looking at the couch, probably not. He throws this move in, and now all of a sudden the couch comes from behind, and it's just really, really, really cool. Like it's just really neat to. I guess I just never really thought of doing that, like throwing one of those in, to then interact with an object that you're headed towards. I just thought that was super cool. Maybe I'm overthinking it, and it just happened that way, but I don't know. That just kind of struck me. So let's get a little bit more. There it is again. I saw somebody mentioning that you want his video quality. You can see where he flies from. Well, hold on. You can see where he's flying from. Hold on. Right over there. So he sits right here. So at any spot in the house. Like he's yeah, there's like one bounce no matter where he goes. So that's why there's like zero breakup. All right, so what else do we got? Yeah, there's one of his signature little. It's not a rewind, right? Like this is not a rewind. People just, anytime someone stalls like this and changes directions, people say like, oh, that's a cool rewind. It's not. Like this is not a rewind. Watch it, right? He's rotating right into it, but he's coming from a completely different direction. This is just kind of like a stall. There's that little pitch pop there going behind that thing. Again, I don't know what it is. There you can see where he's sitting. Some work under the table. Very, very cool. Look at that. Look at that, just like mastery of roll. Just the ability to control roll and move laterally like that, right to left to right. Oh my god, that's so cool. So cool. There it is again. That was more of a rewind, but again, not actually a rewind. Here, I'll show you why SR13's a ninja. Right here. Right here, friends. This is all it takes. Lots and lots and lots and lots of batteries. That's all you need. That's all you need to get really good. You just got to do the thing that you enjoy doing a lot. The risk is that you drive it into the ground and start to hate it. There it is again. So there's him doing that little flick by the couch. The video I watched earlier, though, he did it and like just perfectly skimmed the couch. See how he used it to wrap around the couch too? Right? So his direction of travel is actually like the couch is here and he's traveling like this, but he throws it to the left. We talk about this a lot, right? The direction that you roll over is going to push the tiny whoop in that direction. It does this same thing with all quads, but tiny whoops, it's really drastic. So he turns this over to the left, and that takes his direction of travel from this to that, and then flips it back, and then the couch kind of just magically appears. Ready? And he's like even with the couch. Isn't that cool? It's a subtle little thing, but it's, yeah, very, very, very cool stuff. Oh, wow. No, he flipped that to the right. Oh, no. Right. No. Yeah, he did it the correct direction. But he did it after the pitch look back. After the pitch look back, he rotated this in this direction. You're seeing him halfway through the rotation. And that allows it to wrap around the couch and see how it just pulls him right out around the couch there. If he'd done it in the other direction, it would have put him out into the wall. All right, so the first thing I'm going to try to do is just roll more. This edit's almost done. Oh, there it is. Just wrapping around that chair like that is so cool. All right, so we dove into that one. The first thing, we're going to watch one or two more, but the first thing I just want to do is... Wait! Ah, the batteries are done. I missed it. I wanted to see how long it took these batteries to charge. Yeah, this is at 41 minutes. It obviously did not take 41 minutes for them to charge, but yeah. You discharge these in 3 minutes. If you charge them at 10C, they're not going to charge back up in 3 minutes. So even at mega high amp charging numbers, you're not doing nearly as much damage as you do when you fly the damn things. But, you know, less stress you put on the batteries, the longer they'll last. So, this charging at a low amp number is never a bad idea. All right, so I've got 6 batteries charged. We're going to fly a couple here. And, yeah, like I said, the first thing I just want to do is... just force myself to use roll more and just lose the horizon and not keep the horizon so flat. Although, hold on, let me get a little bit caught up on chat real quick here. Off Axis says that's interesting that the new BLV4 with crossfire I just bought have the 27,000 kV motors. I'm going to swap the camera to a RunCam 1080p HD analog camera I have left over. Should I swap motors? Probably, because that. What? RunCam 1080p HD analog camera. How does that work? Yes, you should switch motors. In my opinion, anything under 30,000 kV can burn in a fire. As opposed to, I don't know, celebrating in a fire. You could, maybe. What should I... All right, so we're going to start off with the 0802 EX 33,000 kV rig. You know what? No. I'm going to fly the same thing all night because I don't want to like... And I'm going to fly the thing that I'm most used to, which is the Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop on the 0702 32,000s. This is about flying, not about the technical side and or gear or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm going to fly the thing that I'm most comfortable with, and I have the most batteries on. So let's see what happens here. This might be a mess, because this is... Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult to imitate somebody else, you know. Like, we have our styles, and they're pretty. It's pretty like a die-hard thing. Butterton says, "I always thought those wiggles were to disguise how badly tuned the quads were back then." It's a little of that. CMYK says, "Racers do their 90-degree twitch to warm up or get locked into their rates. It was recommended to me by a few racers this weekend." That's interesting. I never thought about that. CMYK also says, "We did something in professional console FPS spiral twitch to get warmed up and acclimated to playing." That's wild. I had no idea. He also says, "I got really inspired by the stalls SR13 did. It just blew my mind." Yeah, man. Me too. Me too. He also says, "I feel like the stalls are more style and skill expression. I equate it to skateboarding. Kickflip rolls down before you land it versus pops up and rotates to meet your feet." Tyrant FPV just put out a visual Trictionary for FPV, and it's awesome. Have you seen it? I have not, but I'm going to check it out for sure. And then Allfaxis says, how has everyone forgot about those RunCam Nano HD cameras that the Mobile 6 came with? Mine in a different dimension. I don't... Is that the camera that was both analog and you could also use it with the DJI? Is that the one? I don't remember. Okay. So let me just give me a second to think here. Okay, so maybe it won't be that difficult. Although you guys are gonna get to see me forget to not just throw the damn thing across the room like that. But you're also going to get to see me completely second guess like what my style is and or if I even have style. Fair warning. So I keep wanting to... That's interesting. I keep wanting to do that roll to get out of this stuff. It's... Alright, so first and foremost... It's really easy. I mean, it's not easy, but it's a lot easier to just... that was very lucky. It's very easy to just come up here in the free air, in these big spaces, and do this stuff. Where SR13 is an absolute maniac, and what I want to really try to steal is the ability to do this stuff down in here, and to use these to like go somewhere, right? Like, so you do that rewind in order to rip. So what I've tried 3 times now and failed is I want to do that rewind to trace down this. I want to travel down the top of this IKEA Kallax, but I want to do it backwards like that, and I also want to do it with the I want you to be able to see. I want you to be able to see the damn Kallax, which is also why the low up tilt is really nice. I have pretty low up tilt right now. Like look how much duct is in view, but compared to SR, right? Like this is high up tilt compared to what he's running. So there's a chance that without less... Oh boy. Didn't plan that, but I'll take it. There's a chance that without somehow figuring out a way to get less up tilt on this, I won't be able to do that. But I'll challenge myself to just do it at a lower elevation. The lower I can get, the easier that'll come in. So, oh boy. So yeah, a lot of it is. Let me just shut up for a second. I just want you to. Oh, I gotta change the battery, but. I just want you to listen. You guys can hear the. You can hear the motors wind up and down, right? Somebody say yes or no. I think that if I shut up, I think that you can hear the motors crank up and down, which is going to be important because I want to kind of teach you guys this while I'm sort of figuring it out for myself. What I want you to listen for is the throttle blips. Winder says SR had less clutter to deal with. Yeah, very true. But you know, that was 3-4 years ago. We should be able to handle this. Yeah, what I want you to listen for is when the motors wind up and down. You're gonna notice that like when I max this thing all the way out right before it stalls, you're gonna hear the throttle kick up, and it's just when I get it up like this, I'm doing that for a reason, and it's to generate momentum this way. So this is when you want to hammer the throttle. You want to stab the throttle like that, and then you've generated this momentum. And then you can kind of rock with that, and when you rotate around backwards, you can kind of like surf on that. You'll see what I mean. I'm just gonna let you listen for a second here. Just listen real carefully. Turn the volume up. See, now that's... I'm starting to realize that I do a lot of... I actually do some of this stuff. Ah, that was ambitious. Ambitious, but rubbish. Oh, boy. How is it even... Ah, that would have been sick. Oh, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't! Nope. Nope. Stop it. Get! Come on. Hold on. It's right here. Oh, yeah, I wasn't getting out of there. It was stuck in between the pillow. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, my God, why? So there's the little pitch roll flip that he does. You can really see how much slower my rates are. And I'm really, man, I'm so used to using the up and down dimension. It's really hard to break myself out of that. But what's really interesting is that I'm realizing how much of this stuff that I actually do. I'm realizing that I've already stolen quite a lot from SR. You hear how the throttle winds up? What? Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. Why do I keep crashing into the felt and shit that's gonna wind itself around the motors? Oh, you bastard. Hold on. This is the adult diaper from New Year's. Anybody that doesn't know that story, you gotta watch the 12-hour live stream. Can you guys kind of see what I'm saying about when to stab the throttle? Ah! So there's... Okay. Let's just... Okay. Oh, I tried to get in below the cymbals while I was still doing that. So the other thing that's going on is that once you've committed to like this, you want to let that roll as long as you possibly can. Once you've committed to like this, once you've committed to this rotation here, rock it as long as you can and then change directions. That's something that I've been teaching forever. Yeah, it's super important here. All right, let's get another... Oh, God. Let's get another battery going here. How am I doing? Am I doing okay? It's fun to watch. Mac FPV says, any tips for altitude control? Fly all the time. Altitude control is the most difficult thing in all of FPV, mainly because you're not sitting inside of the craft, so you can't feel the altitude changes. And a change in altitude, so all we really have to go off is our vision. Technically, though, we also have our ears to go off, which are important. I'll talk about that in a second. With your vision, when you do a roll, it's instant and it's obvious. When you do a pitch move, it's instant and obvious. When you do a yaw move, it's instant and a little bit less instant, but very obvious. When you move the throttle up and down, especially if you only move it down up and down a little bit, nothing changes in the goggles. Your elevation is going to change, but if you're like more than a foot off the ground, the picture that you see with your eyeballs basically doesn't change at all. Because once you're like a foot in the air, the horizon is all the way out there, and like you're not close enough to the ground to really see that change. So you can like literally hammer the throttle up and down, and if you've got a clean tune, damn near nothing will change. So the feedback that you get for throttle changes, altitude changes, is delayed. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's also visually hard to see. Like, nothing really changes visually. A second ago I said something that I wanted to talk about. It'll come to me. Your ears are important with altitude changes. You can hear when you change the throttle. You ever notice when you fly really far away, you feel very uncomfortable? Next time you do that, fly far away so that you can't hear it. Make sure it's a recoverable spot and dump down really low. You will have such a hard time controlling your elevation when you can't hear the quad. Being able to hear the change in your throttle is incredibly important. Also because you should have your throttle stick really smooth. And when the throttle stick is really smooth, you can move it and not feel it. Like, you're telling your fingers to push it, but there's almost no feedback from the stick itself to like confirm that you have changed the throttle. So what happens a lot of time is like, and this is what happens when you can't hear the quad, you'll change the throttle value a little bit and you'll second guess like, shit, did I change it? And then you'll push it even more. Ghost Branch, very true. It's even worse when the audio is delayed, when you're far enough away that there's a delay in the audio. That is really when you'll start to see your elevation bouncing up and down and up and down. One of the ways that I can tell pretty quickly, like if I get in the goggles and somebody else is flying, I can tell usually within like 10 seconds if they're like 6 months into flying, a year into flying, 2 years into flying, 5 years into flying. And it is always elevation related. There's some other stuff, but as soon as I see them drop down low and see how much they're bouncing up and down elevation wise, that's it. Like, that's how you can tell how many batteries someone's flown. It is super difficult. I cannot stress that enough. It is so hard to get really good at altitude control. It is like the thing, especially doing cinematic work. It is the thing that I continue to see actually improve in my flying. Like, most of my flying, I feel like, hasn't gotten better in years. But altitude control is absolutely something that I continue to get better at because it's just so difficult. It's just like a forever thing that you're going to get better and better and better. And yeah, those are the reasons why. Visually, it's hard to see any change. You can kind of hear it, but that doesn't really do it for you as much as yeah, like with pitch, roll, and yaw, just visually seeing it change. Here's how you get better at altitude control, is you fly really low to the ground. Flying really low to the ground is going to pull the ground up higher in your viewfinder. If you're flying 2 feet in the air, hold on, I gotta be able to see OBS for this. The ground is gonna be like all the way down here where my arms are. And so if you change altitude, the ground is only gonna really move like that much. If you fly really low to the ground, the ground, the horizon line is gonna be my arms, and then this is gonna be all ground down here. So if you change the throttle a little bit, you're actually gonna see a change if you're really low to the ground. The problem with this is that you're going to crash a lot. Flying really low to the ground to get better at throttle control is going to cause hundreds, I'm not kidding, hundreds of crashes. Luckily, they're very light crashes. You're going to kill propellers. You're not going to kill motors, which is great. But you're going to kill propellers for sure. You're going to kill antennas because it's going to flip over and smack the shit out of the antenna. And you're going to just road rash the shit out of your battery straps and your batteries and stuff like that. So bring electrical tape with you. You're going to want to wrap your batteries with that once you wear through the shrink wrap. Bring extra antennas. Just expect that you're going to kill antennas. And bring loads of extra props because you're going to grind the props down doing it. The other thing that helps is flying faster, believe it or not. The faster you fly, the more of your thrust is being spilled rearwards and the less of your thrust is being spilled downwards. The less thrust that's going down, the less of a change in elevation is going to occur when you move the throttle. Think of the extremes. If you stand this thing all the way up like this, at full throttle, it will barely not hit the ground. It will just barely at full throttle stay up in the air. So if you have it stood all the way up like this and you move the throttle stick all the way up and down to the bottom, it's only going to change elevation a tiny little bit. It's going to slam into the ground, but it's only going to be able to change elevation a little bit. Complete opposite side of the spectrum, if you're hovering and you change the throttle a little bit, all of that change in the throttle is going straight down and it's going to fire you up in the air. So when you're hovering and when you're flat, your throttle control is the most difficult it's ever going to be because every little change gets pushed straight into the ground. The more you stand this thing up, the less vertical thrust you have access to and the softer your throttle is going to be and the easier the throttle control is going to be. With really high kV motors on Tiny Whoops, I do recommend Throttle Expo. I've talked about it quite a bit. The most important thing about Throttle Expo is setting the midpoint correctly. If you set the Throttle Expo midpoint wrong, it will make the situation worse. I only really recommend a bunch of Throttle Expo with Tiny Whoops because with Tiny Whoops, you're typically flying in a small area. So you're usually going to lock in to a certain speed. Like with a 5-inch rig, you're going to fly that thing really fast. You're going to fly that thing really slow. And so your midpoint for Throttle Expo is a mess. With a Tiny Whoop, you're pretty much always going to fly. You're going to be cruising around like this. Unless you have a massive house. So basically, you can run more Throttle Expo if you have a smaller space and you cruise at roughly the same speed all the time, because then you can put the midpoint of the S-curve exactly where you normally are. For me, that's 38% throttle. 38% throttle is like damn near always what you'll see me cruising around. It'll go to 39, it'll go to 40, it'll go down to 35, 36, but it's usually right in this tight little range. If I look at the OSD from my 5-inch flying, I'm cruising it 50% sometimes, 20% other times, 80% sometimes when I'm going really fast. And so with a rig that you're flying at all different speeds, there is no center point. And adding that Throttle Expo can make the situation worse because when you're on the top and the bottom of the S-curve, it's more steep. And then when you're at that exact number, yeah, it helps. Throttle Expo is something that you got to be careful of because it can, like I said, it can make the situation way worse. You only really want to use it on rigs that you fly at roughly the same speed because then you can nail down that midpoint. And I actually add a lot of Throttle Expo to these. I add 40 out of 100, which is a ton. For any rig that I use it on everything nowadays, but I only use a little bit of it on rigs that I drastically change speed. I'll use like a value of 10, sometimes 20, but usually just 10. So Throttle Expo is a little confusing, and it's very specific to rigs that you're flying the same amount of speed. When I go and fly these things in a big space, I have to either turn off the Throttle Expo or I'll try to adjust it. Because in a big space, I'm going to stand this thing up like this, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, like what the hell is going on with the throttle? It just feels terrible. Once you've played around with Throttle Expo for a while, like you really start to notice it. It's kind of slick. But yeah, that's a great question. CMYK dropping the link to the Trictionary. Very cool. I'm going to open that in a new tab here. CMYK says, okay, cool. Thanks for that, CMYK. Mac FPV says, thanks guys, snow coming in all this week. I have to work on floor skimming. And then Metadertson says, and at that point, you got to pay super close attention to your camera angle because a little change makes a big difference. True. You can, what's cool though, is that with the Throttle Expo, you can just think about speed. Your camera angle will adjust. It will like trick you into flying faster or slower, but even like in a small space like this, like I'm in, I just can't go fast. Like regardless of if my camera angle is sky high or zeroed out, I just can't go very fast in here. So I can kind of get away with it and cheat it. But what Metadertson says is really important. Like as your camera angle changes, it will drastically change how fast you fly. So you got to be careful about that. But yeah, if you're flying in a small space, you're probably not going to be able to go very fast. So your Throttle Expo can kind of lock in, and if your cam angle changes, you'll just fly like shit. Like cam angle changing will really wreck the way that you fly. You'll start missing everything. You'll miss all your power loops. So definitely pay attention to that. AJ Farris says, just learn to fly to the point I typically don't crash. I can fly indoors too. That's the best way to adjust indoors. That's big, man. Flying inside is really, really difficult. 6S1 says RunCam split. Okay. Now I got you. Okay, back into it. Let's do. Now you know what? We flew a couple batteries. I'm starting to realize what I do and don't do. Let's dive back into another SR video. It's 11:38. Yeah, so we'll do one more of his, and then I'll fly another few, and then yeah, we will part ways for the night, my friends. This is Butterflow. This should be awesome. So, oh, he's at a whoop race. Yeah. Oh, see, so this, I love that so much. I really do, and I'm starting to realize that I actually do this through the gates in here. It's really cool to see somebody else that's so good at it, though. So, all right, I very specifically remember this edit, actually. What a cool location. All right, so what can I work on next? What can we pick to dive into next? See how like right there, for example, we would all nowadays do a power loop. This would absolutely be a moment with these overpowered rigs now that we would do a power loop up over ourselves. But back then, like power loops were almost impossible. And so he's using different stuff to really make that work. That's a cool little half a dive there. A little pitch flick to generate that forward momentum. Oh, that's cool. Looking all the way back. And now you see that's hard to get out of, right? Like after you do something like that, you're just pointed towards the wall. It's like, what do you do? He gets out of that in like a really cool way, and all he's doing is yawing around, but it's just there's a pacing to it, and there's just like a flow to it that, yeah, he just makes it work. It's just really, really cool. All right, what else do we have here? Yeah, see, like really just using this sideways flying to go in between obstacles. God, is that difficult? Right. Let me pull one up. It's interesting. I can kind of see that, and this is like these old underpowered tiny whoops. This is not a great spot for them for freestyle, and you can almost see that. I mean, obviously, he's sort of less comfortable here. Just kind of like there's a little bit more like hunting around for what to do. Let's go back into his house. That's where it's just utter magic. Oh, this, hold on. It must have played through that whole video. The stuff in his house is the stuff that just always melted my brain, and it is just so goddamn cool. So there we go, dropping nice and low, right off the rip here. When you start doing this stuff low to the ground, that is like ultra ninja shit. So there's that move, and just blasting right in between that lamp. Like, look at that proximity. That's just so cool. I'm gonna have a hard time doing that though, because I refuse to push my rates up anywhere near where his is. He's probably at around 1200 degrees per second. Christmas tree, look at that. All right, what else can I steal? That's cool. Here's a little subtle thing. Watch. See that stop? Look how it just stops there, right? Wow! That's really cool. That's really, really cool. We have a tendency to want, at least I do, I have a tendency to want to keep this, nope, that's not what I want, to kind of keep this going and rotate, what the hell is that? Rotate all the way into the other direction. Ready? So he's got right roll on, and he just stops the, I guess he's stopping the yaw. So he's already got it rolled to the right, right? Look at the horizon line. So the horizon's there. He leaves the horizon there, and now he's just, no, he's coordinating a little bit. He's both yawing, and rolling a little bit to the right, but then just wham, just centers the yaw stick. You know what he's doing? I bet you he's rolling back to the left. So look at the horizon line. Horizon line's still the same. Yeah. That's cool. So he is now, at this very moment, he is yawing to the right, and he's starting to roll back to the left. So he's actually cross-coordinating sticks at this point. And what I bet you he does is I'll bet you he leaves, this is backwards for you guys in the viewfinder here, but I can't do it backwards for you. You just bear with me here. So he's now begun to roll to the left a little bit, and he's yawing hard to the right, and I bet you he's just going to kill the yaw but leave the roll. Ready? So watch the horizon. So the horizon's here. I always do this. Like, I'll put my hand on the screen where the horizon line is, and now when I hit play, it's a two-phase thing. Let me double check. Horizon line is level, comes back a little bit. Yeah, there is a little bit of pause. So he's centered both sticks. That's why it's such a drastic like hit when it straightens out, is because he kills all the motion, right? There's like 5 or 6 frames there where it's just flying forward. And what I really dig about this is that, like, we've had all of this motion, we've had the horizon moving, we've had pitch changes, yaw changes, and then you just snap into this, and you give like the viewer a second, and it's cool that he's doing it when he goes into the kitchen, because like he's entering a different room, so it like gives you like a quarter of a second to like actually see this room, right? Because when we're whipping all around, like, you can't really see. It's just shit's blurring all over the damn screen. It gives the viewer like a split second to like see, like, oh cool, we're coming to the kitchen, and now I guarantee you we start to move around again. Big old yaw move. This is really cool watching it slowed down, actually. It's actually super helpful to watch this slowed down. But I want to get through this. We're kind of running out of time, so I'm going to go back up to full speed. There it is. That's the one. That's the one that I watched last night, where I was like, oh, yeah. So man, that is such a cool way to use this little pitch roll. I also love that he's using pitch forward, right? Like, I see people do this with pitch back, and I just can't understand it, because when you do this with pitch back, you just show the sky, and it just looks weird. If you do it with pitch forward, like, you're showing like where you are. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to do it with pitch back. Always do that with pitch forward, because you're already like looking at the ground, and so you're going to give them something to look at when it comes. It just looks better. This is the heat right here, though. That is so cool. That is such a cool camera movement. All right, what else we got here? Slowing it down, nice and gentle, like really nice. Maybe that's why I like doing those rolls. Maybe that's an old leftover thing that I stole from SR. Really cool change of pace, right? Give your viewer some fast stuff, give them some slow stuff, give them some thrashy stuff, give them some smooth stuff. Really, really cool to do that. This is how you make you encourage someone to not click off of your edit after 20 seconds. Mix it up. Oh, mix it up and give them something. All right, so let's see. Nah, that was purposeful. So sometimes throwing a big rotation like that, sometimes it's to kind of save it. Like if you're... All right, so for example, right? If he had lined this up, will this let me go back frame by frame? No, it won't. It just goes back by 5 seconds. This is something we've talked about before, but and this is actually not an example. This is a more impressive example of it because he's doing this on purpose. But if he had lined himself up on that chair, and if he was about to bang into the back of that chair, he could have done that yaw rotation the other direction to pull him away from the back of that chair. What he actually did is he came around the corner of the couch, put a bunch of roll in, and rotated it around, blasted the throttle to send it perfectly between the chair and the wall, and then as he got there, yawed it around so that the chair is dead center in the frame, right? And that's why this looks so cool, is because that moment where he rotates around the chair, he perfectly center punches, in a way, the back of the chair. But for the record, you can use not only can you use roll. If you're lined up on something, you can use roll to pull yourself away from it. You can do the same thing with yaw. Yaw will accomplish the same thing. If you're about to hit something, you can yaw this direction and it'll pull you, and you'll hopefully miss it. Unfortunately, when you do that, you look away from that object, right? This is the camera. The camera's pointing out my fingers. When you do this to cover up a mistake or a potential crash, you're going to look away from the object. So what I'll usually do is keep it turning so that you come back, and now once you're here, you'll see that object. So it kind of seems like you did it on purpose. He did the complete opposite of that, which is way better. It's way better to pre-plan it and line it up properly here, and then as you get there, rotate with the object. That object, the chair was the subject. Show the subject, right? Show the subject as much as you possibly can. Wrap around it, give it that whole time, and now you've got this really cool perspective of, like, you show the one side of the chair, you like blast super close to it, and now you show the back side of it, and also now you're going backwards. And it just happens like that. It has so much like impact when you do that right. It's such a cool thing. Such a cool little thing. That's fun. That's really fun. That little wall climb. This is full throttle right here. This wall climb is rad. I don't do these enough. Here's an example. It's hard to get out of this. What do I do now? What do I do? That's a really cool little yo-yo that he does. Just brings it back and then dives right back into some other stuff. That's super slick. Oh, nice. So, what do we got going on here? Ooh, that's fun. That's very, very fun. All right, so going in between, lining it up, you can see that he's pretty much lined up perfectly for the chair. Rolling to the right because he's going to need that momentum to get into this room, but he's kind of pitching back so that he doesn't smack into the wall, right? He has to do something about this momentum. Although you can see he goes pretty deep into that room. But he is pitching back, right? Look at the floor disappear. There's like there's a bunch of floor there. Yeah, I guess there's less pitch, and that's more of like a roll movement. Man, is that cool looking. That's an example, though, of him looking away from the subject. but he's kind of turning the edge of the wall into the subject, which is pretty slick. Oh man, there's so much subtlety. There's so much subtlety to his flying. It's really, really cool. That's really slick. I remember we used to do this a lot. We used to do these like yaw 360s a lot. They're cool looking. Man, that is a lost movement. Man, I have stolen a lot from his style. Flip around backward. Yeah, that's slick. All right, let's try to. The last thing I want to try to do is really dial in on, basically flying sideways. I guess what we could call it is like a sideways like proximity. Getting better at being accurate while flying sideways, essentially, right? That's a lot. Oh man, my goggles have been on this whole time. They are burning hot. Yeah, let me play around with that a little more. Seem like, hey, says, God, I still love this video. Yeah, man, for sure. Right 9 fell asleep and missed the repair guy. Kevin Summer says, any reason not to use the Hype Train BB motors as an alternative to Jesse's motors 0802 29,700 1.5 millimeter shaft? Really? I didn't know that. Hold on a second. Hold on. Are they really 1.5 mil shaft? I did not realize that. I have heard that these guys are kind of heavy. I don't think that's a 1.5 millimeter shaft. I'm pretty sure that's a 1 mil. It just looks like a 1 mil. Yeah, 1 mil shaft. If these were a 1.5 millimeter shaft, I'd buy a set of them right now because I wasn't showing it to you guys. Sorry. Yeah, I can just kind of tell by looking. I could just tell by looking at it that that's a 1 mil shaft, but it also calls it out here. Yeah, if these were a 1.5 mil shaft, I'd buy a set right now because we don't have anything with a 1.5 mil shaft that's this high of a KV. I have heard that these motors are a little bit heavy, but other than that, I'm 99% sure they're made by RC and Power, so they're probably really good. So yeah, nothing wrong with those. Oh wow, Trictionary, look at that. Boy, oh boy. That is cool. That is very, very cool. Damn. This is gonna crash my computer. Hold on, let me do this, and then I'll click off of it real quick. Okay, same weight as Jesse's, dropping photos in Discord right now. Thank you for looking that up, Kevin. Couple more batteries, and then we'll all go to sleep. I won't. I'm up all night, every night. I have sleeping problems. Any last second questions, drop them in chat. Muttertson says, I hate to say it, but nothing will teach you to accurately fly sideways through gaps like racing. Interesting. Interesting. No chance of me doing that, so I'll have to learn the hard way. Oh man, these goggles are burning hot. Oh, let me just turn the fan on. That'll fix the situation. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. Wow. That was a mistake on my part. All right, here we go. Welcome to LBTX. Come on. Hey, do you guys see anything in SR's flying that's like drastically different? That you think I could steal? I'm really blown away watching his video and then flying how much I've already stolen. Oh god! Not a good start. Okay, even better. An even worse start. So where can I... Alright, so obviously I can... Okay. I can play around with this in the gates. And now you're gonna see, like... Although, can I do it in through there? Kinda. Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to do, but... So one of those oh god, that thing that he did between the chair and the wall, where he went backwards. That's what I'm kind of trying to do now. It's basically that. That was very ugly. This is the perfect gate to do it. Man, I am having a hard time with that. I was not blipping the throttle hard enough. Okay, so. Oh boy, that is tough, dude. Holy shit. There it is. See, I have this tendency to just keep the horizon level and coordinate sticks. I gotta let the horizon go. I gotta let myself. It's easy to do this stuff. It's hard to do it purposeful. Oh boy. Oh my god, what is happening? All right, hold on. Let's just hit the reset button real quick here. Here we go. Okay. Oh no, that's going in the Christmas tree. Battery's dead. Stop it! Oh, you prick. Battery's dead anyway. Oh boy. Okay, let's try to do a little bit better than that. That was embarrassing. CMYK says, I feel like SR13's camera angle is so low, or is this just from the pinch cam? I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I really wish I could get the camera angle more flat. But on these Happy Model boards, the cable for the UFL for the antenna runs right under the camera, and it prevents you from like really flattening the cam angle out. It's one of the only things I don't love about the Happy Model board. Although what I do love about it is that it keeps the antenna plugged in. So, yeah. But I do think he's flying a camera with significantly more field of view, and he's obviously at a lower up tilt. And some of the stuff that I'm trying to do, it would definitely benefit me to have a lower camera angle. There we go. All right, so let's play with these gates. Good. Works well. Ah! Oh! Come on. Oh! I'm looking really far ahead, which is a good thing, but that can cause you to smack into stuff like that's right in front of you because you're not looking at it. I also need to like loosen up with the yaw stick. Oh boy, he's best landing ever. This is tough, man. This is This is very tough to try to fly like somebody else, but I gotta tell you, it's really rewarding. This is, I mean, anytime that you're having a hard time like this, it's because you're working really hard. Like, you're trying something really difficult. Whoa! Oh, Jesus! Oh! Here we go. I have the benefit of like way more power than he ever did. Gotta throw in some of my own stuff, right? Oh, yo! Oh no, get out of there, get out of there! This is fun, dude. This is really fun. Jesus. No! Come on. Don't fall behind. Don't fall down behind there. Yes! No! No! Please! Yay! Oh! Oh, dunk. Yeah, okay. I wasn't planning on going that direction through there, but hey. Oh! I almost made it through the third one. That would have been sick. Ah, that was just going for it blindly. Oh god, okay. I highly recommend watching a bunch of somebody's stuff and then trying to imitate their style. This is rad, and I can tell immediately that I'm learning a bunch. Oh yeah, that is actually what I was planning. There was a lot of luck in that, but it was what I was going for. Hold on. Whoo, boy! Yo! This is great. Alright, I gotta do one more. Lucky is changing from Hummingbird 802 25,000s for the first time to 702 29,000s. What changes do I need to make in beta flight? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Unless it doesn't fly right, then you might need to, but it should be totally fine. If you arm it and it oscillates to the moon and flies away by itself, you want to lower your D gain and PNI gain sliders. The top two sliders, pull them down by 0.2, and it'll probably go away. All right, last one, friends. Oh god, no, don't go in there. Oh, I was trying to get it through the Weebleed gate up top there. Oh no! Oh shit! Might have broken something on the shelf behind me. I'm not even gonna look. Ah, balls. Yeah, I mean you can like practice his style with just fuck you with. I hate you. With just a cube gate. That took a turn. You can do all. Here, hold on. Let me throw a cube gate up in the middle of the room and show you what I mean. Cube gate might actually be the best thing to try some of this stuff with. Man, there's just not a great spot. This is a small-ass room. Jesus. Alright, let's try this. That's about the most gap that I can create around a cube gate in this room. Put a cube gate in the middle of your room, and you can practice all this stuff. Oh! Yo, I kind of like this cube gate right here. Ah! Oh, come on. Throttle control becomes really difficult with this stuff because when you lose the horizon like that, you lose a lot of thrust. So you got to learn when to add thrust. Oh, God. That was an interesting crash. What's happening? What? What the f... What? 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 Come on! No! What? What? Why? Hey. Oh. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Yeah. Ah! Coming down through the top is a great thing to practice throttle control with. Oh, no. You guys know what I was trying to do there, huh? Oh! This is also going to teach patience because you got to really wait. You got this momentum and you got to wait for that right moment. to do that proper, like, stall. It's hard, dude. It's really hard to get those stalls crisp. You got to be absolutely dead on with the direction of travel. Oh, that would have been a good one, too. And, like, those stalls change in each different direction. Like, with each different axis almost, right? Like, I guess you would want to practice them with just one axis at a time. So just get a hover. Get a hover on. And just do roll. And you see, you don't want the elevation to bounce like that. You got to have that blip of throttle. Ooh, this battery's going to die a slow, horrible death. You need that blip of throttle to give that sharp direction change, to give that like actual rewind, right? Like hitting the reverse button on the tape deck. But that will tend to create an altitude jump, like what you were just seeing. So it's tough. What'll help with that is more roll. The more you roll that thing over, when you blast the throttle, for the same reason that we were talking before, if you roll it all the way up like this, you can go full throttle, and it's really not going to gain any altitude. What I was doing is like this. And when I'm doing this and I blast the throttle, it's got all this downward thrust vector, so it's going to jump up. I'm going to try it right now. I need to put more roll on it. Let's see. I know I said just one more. Ooh, I almost Stevie Wondered it. Allfax said you might want to watch the clip we both made. Where's it at? In the clips channel on Discord? Alright, hold on. Alright, ready? No, stop it. Alright, hold on. Let's get into the rhythm here. Feel the rhythm. Wow, that's tough. Jesus. Hold on. See how the yeah, it's hard to do, man. It's really difficult. Okay, you know what it is? You need to just... You need to... Woo! That is tough. You need to roll into and out of the throttle. Oh, God. Practice it. I obviously need to practice it. Hey! Easy, easy, easy. Hey! Oh! That's the hardest I've ever hit one of the cymbals. Nope. Alright, so the little wall climb that he did is actually, there is no throttle blip. I just did it wrong. I did it with a big throttle blip. There it is. There's a throttle blip at the bottom, but then at the top, it's just, you just stay quiet. This is a perfect spot for it. So just listen. You can hear the throttle. Ready? Okay. Then there's that. Hear it? Throttle at the bottom. It's one of these moves where, like, right now everything happens, and if you get it wrong at the bottom, you're screwed. You can't make any corrections because you have to do it. You have to do that whole climb at 0 throttle. I used to love to see. I threw a pop at the top. Well, I kind of did it to not have it fall into the tree, but fart. Oh, come on! Oh, fuck off. Okay. Well, that battery's dead. I think that, yeah, it is the best Lauryn Hill album ever on the wall. These are not necessarily 4 of my favorite albums, but they're just 4 cool-looking albums. That is one of my favorite albums of all time. That is as well. That is as well. That not necessarily, but it's just a cool-looking album cover. All right, friends. I hope you learned something. I certainly did. Huh? I thought I was very. I've done an awful lot of live streams, and it gets harder and harder to think of like fresh things to do. When I thought of this, I was pleased. I was like, yeah, cool. I still got it. like the ability to think of new stuff to do on these streams, like for me, is like, am I good at my job? Then yes, I can think of new, fresh things to do. But, so yeah, I was happy that I thought about this, and I'm like double happy now. Like this is really cool. This is really, really, really cool. I'm gonna do this again for sure, and I think you should too. Yeah, pick a pilot and just dissect their flying and steal. Seriously, man, steal from other pilots. They're never gonna know. And like, you know, when you're dissecting another pilot's, right, like another pilot went out and flew like for an hour and then took that hour's worth of flight footage and chopped it down into like 2 or 3 minutes and gave you all the best stuff in there. And then you took those 2 or 3 minutes and you found 2 or 3 seconds of the absolute coolest shit. Like, that's how you get good. Like, that's how you steal right there. Where's the, oh, best landing ever. Oh, yeah, nice. I can play the audio from this. Loosen up with the yaw stick. Oh, boy. He's... like, loosen up. Great. I love it. I love it. There's a... on my Discord, there's Best of CiottiFPV. It's actually it's not Patreon only. It's open to anyone. It's called Best of CiottiFPV, and it's all these little clips that the guys have made, and it's just awesome. Definitely jump into Best of CiottiFPV. There's some fucking great stuff in there. There's some really good stuff with Teddy in there actually too. See my Clips channel. J-Spin says let's all give CiottiFPV the clap. And then CMYKFPV dropping the CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, dude. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Whoop Wednesday, what is it, 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock. See you there. The drifting stuff is changing to Tuesday nights, so if I can remember, I'm going to go tomorrow night. And, yeah, I'll have some fresh drift car chasing footage for you guys. SR13, it is my absolute pleasure, my man. Get your asses over to SR's channel. If enough of us, if he gets enough new subscribers, he won't be able to not do another edit and throw up some cool stuff for us to watch. Also, one of my favorite things about SR, he's known for his tiny whoop stuff, but watching him fly a 5-inch rig is awesome. Real quick, SR, did you start flying tiny whoops and then you moved to 5-inch? I thought that was the case. I thought that he was all tiny whoop and then started flying 5-inch rigs, but then at some point I went into his channel and just scrolled all the way down, and I was horrified to see that his first bunch of videos are from 5-inch rigs, because, you know, there aren't many people who have, like, gotten really good at from just flying micros. But I have a feeling that he started... All right, so he just confirmed that he started with 5-inch. Did you get good flying tiny... Like, were you flying... Because what happens on his channel here is it's, like, some 5-inch stuff, and then, like, all tiny... I guess it's not all tiny whoop stuff. Damn it. Yeah, you mixed it up, didn't you? But look, there's this big chunk of time where it's like all tiny whoop stuff. So no, this is 5-inch. Yeah, okay, so it's a mix. There aren't many of us who just didn't fly 5-inch at all and just got good flying micros. And like I remember way back when it was like this really shitty thing of like, oh, micro pilots aren't real pilots. Like tiny whoop pilots, they're not real pilots. Like only 5-inch pilots are real pilots. And I remember being like, fuck you. And like there were so many people that that had that sort of viewpoint. And yeah, I don't know. It's very gratifying to find pilots who got good flying micros and then moved, or maybe never even moved over to 5-inch. I don't know. It's just me dating myself, being an old fart. I love you guys. Be good. I'll see you on Wednesday at 8. SR, thanks for everything, man. Super inspirational flying. Same rates on all your quads. Goddamn right you do, because you've gotten good. All same rates on everything forever, of course. Don't run different rates. Maybe you can run different race rates, but try not to. Try to run the same rates on everything. It'll really help you out. Be good, friends. Here comes some more. Nah, hold on. SR, check this out. You might not have seen this before. I've been chasing these little RC drift cars around, and it's just the greatest thing ever. It's so much fun, dude. It's so much harder than chasing full-size drift cars because you're in ground effect all the time because the RC drift cars are only this tall. It's incredibly difficult, which is like one of my favorite things about it. Do I not have... Where is all of the... Is it on here? Here's some on here. Here we go. This is actually with a walk snail tiny whoop. Where's a good one? Here's a good one. Maybe? Alright, guys. Be good. Love you. Bye! Hold on. Yeah, this will work. Love you. Bye!